What it is, what it do, cyber world. It's your girl, the one and only, Ash Brown, and this is the ashsaidit show. Over 1,900 episodes, 500,000 streams since 2014. Wow. None of this is possible without you guys. Thank you so much for your love and your support. The shares and the cares make a huge difference. Today, we are joined by a wonderfully talented entrepreneur herself and founder CEO of Full Bloom, the wonderful Paris Fletcher. Hey, Paris.
Hey, Ash. How are you?
I am great. How are you today?
I'm so good. I'm so happy to be here and talk with you.
Thank you so much. Now, Paris, we hear that, we were talking earlier, and we're talking about how we're both transplants, okay? I'm a transplant from New York.
Yes.
And where are you a transplant from?
I am a transplant from San Diego, California.
Awesome. So what would you say, what pulled you to Georgia, to Atlanta, so to speak?
I mean, if I'm being honest, my fiance pulled me out here. So.
That'll do it. That'll do it. I mean, had you been out to Georgia before having a fiance?
I did. I came a few times. I visited him maybe about 3 to 4 times. And yeah, we originally met in LA, and then he said at one point it's time to go home. He wanted to be closer to his family, and I'm like, okay, let's do it. So here I am.
I love it. I love that. All right, before I get too sidetracked and stuff, because I can easily do that, we're going to go into Full Bloom. Now, I want you to talk about what led to the start of this company. Where did it even come from?
Full Bloom started due to my journey. I, quite honestly, I never thought I would own a business. I grew up dancing, doing competition, and later in life started doing dance professionally. So I was in entertainment for 10 years. I was doing TV shows like Glee and Shake It Up, commercials, and touring with artists and different things like that. And throughout that journey of entertainment, which was amazing and fun, there's so many different things that come with that, the insecurities, the judgment, and constantly feeling like you're comparing yourself to other people. And there was a time within my time in entertainment that I had to do my own, just kind of go back into solitude and have a healing journey, because outside of entertainment, I was in a really, really bad relationship. And quite honestly, I just kind of lost myself and was in need of finding myself again. And so I just went through this whole just healing journey, self-love journey, and self-care, and really started pouring back into myself. And during that time, I just, really allowed myself to take in all this information, whether it be the self-help books or watching, the YouTube videos and seeing affirmations, journaling, things like that really helped me just find myself again. And fast forward, during the pandemic, I was working on a show that never actually got released, because at that point I kind of like transitioned into acting and was doing, the commercials and TV shows and whatnot. But pandemic happened, and nobody was doing anything. And at that time, a casting director that had booked me on that show that never aired and never came out, she was like, you know what? I got reached out to by this company, TikTok, and they're looking to diversify their content and bring on creators. And, they really would like to bring you on as like motivation and inspiration, and just really start posting videos in that niche. Because at that point, TikTok was still like all the dancing and like the kids and whatnot, and they were just trying to branch out. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing anything. No one's doing anything. Why not? Yeah. And I started a TikTok channel, and it just was kind of a reflection of my own journey, and just putting all the things that I had done for myself and poured into myself and put it out there for others, and just also putting my own journey of, navigating the entertainment world and everything like that, and just put it out there for people, not even knowing that anyone would watch. And it kind of snowballed and resonated with a lot of people, because I would do affirmations, daily affirmations for people to say in the mornings, and then journal prompts for people to kind of, do that self-reflection and sit with themselves and figure out some things, because we all had a lot of time on our hands during that time, during the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
And it just, right? It just, instead of just sitting around and watching TV, I'm like, let's do something productive that can really help us and just people, individuals. So I did that, and it just resonated with so many people. And from there, I built a following. And from that, I just had so many people reaching out to me like, hey, your stuff is really helping me, these resources, these journal prompts, affirmations, and I would really love it if you created something that I could use on a daily basis. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a perfect idea. Like, why not? You know, I'm giving all this stuff away, which I love because it's just, I've always wanted to help people. I love being of service to people. But from that point, I created a journal, a guided journal, and Full Bloom was born. Because with that guided journal, I started my company, Full Bloom, and Full Bloom is exactly what it sounds like. It's just really helping people water themselves and, you know, put all of just everything that you need, the resources and, you know, things that you need to grow and just bloom into your best self. So that's where Full Bloom came from, the name. And I created a guided journal called Back to Me. And Back to Me, it's just everything that anyone that I would think, just, you know, would think of when they think back to me, pour back into myself, and, you know, just really get back to self, because a lot of us, we feel lost at times, but what can we do to get back to ourselves? So I created a guided journal. It's 365 plus prompts, so it's over a year worth of prompts for every day, and each day page starts with an affirmation, a positive affirmation, so you can really just work on your mindset. And then the journal prompt, you really just reflect, and it just it did its thing. A lot of people needed it, and we sold out 4 different times of the journal, and now we're still building. So that's my journey, and that's where I'm at, and that is Full Bloom.
That is amazing, Paris. Kudos to you. Yeah, I think.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I mean, I think that I think everybody went through some kind of transformation during the pandemic, because it just, so much just didn't make sense. It's just be real about it. So the fact that, you know, you were in the midst of that just crazy whirlwind just in your life, in your journey, and this amazing product and this company comes from it, it's outstanding. I love it. I absolutely love it. Now,
thank you.
Yeah, so as you were starting the company, what would you say was the first challenge that stuck out? That first thing that just really made you, it made you just, it really just pushed you for a loop. Like you weren't expecting it.
If I'm being honest, the first challenge, it didn't necessarily throw me for a loop, but it was myself. It was myself just getting out of the mindset of like, no, you can't do this. Because, you know, it's overwhelming. It's thinking of starting a business, there's so many different factors that go into it. And when you try it, like me, I try to stay, you know, with the tunnel vision and just keep the eye on the prize. But sometimes I just start to wander and like my eyes and just like my thought process. And so I just get overwhelmed because I start thinking about everything. I start thinking into the future. So my biggest challenge starting off was overcoming myself and my, you know, just the thoughts, the intrusive thoughts that were in my head that, no, you can't do it. I had to really sit down with myself and be like, you know what, if this is something, like anything, if it's something that I want to do, it's going to be work. But everything that you work for is worth having. So I had to overcome myself first and foremost. That was my first challenge. Funding was my second challenge because, I mean, funding it's just hard. It's hard, especially during that time. I think a lot of things, and even just now, like funding it's really hard to get funding without having some type of business plan or just knowing somebody or whatever it is. So I invested my own money into the business, starting the business, getting the product, which was a hefty amount. Yeah. But like I said, anything worth getting or doing, you have to work for it in order to, you know, to make it happen. And at the end of the day, before I need to believe in myself if I believe this is going to happen. And I just took that risk and took just that leap of faith and prayed daily. I'm like, Lord, you know,
absolutely,
if this is meant to be, right? Like it's just it'll happen. I'm a firm believer that when we take those steps and those leaps of faith, that I don't care what your religious background is, but once you take that step of faith and just go out on faith, that belief in yourself, it just kind of it transfers out, if that makes any sense. And you start to get the resources that, you know, that you're looking for. They start to kind of come to you if you're doing the work. I'm always saying, if you're doing the work and putting your one foot in front of the other, the resources, the people, what you need, it'll show up eventually. As long as you're actively doing the work and looking for it, it'll come to you. So Those are my two biggest challenges starting off.
Yes, I certainly agree on that one. Wow. And I want to talk about the website. I will say that the website is beautiful. So whoever you have helping to put that stuff together, I mean, it's easily, you can navigate pretty easy on it, and it's just so well put together, and it does have like a sense of zen to it. Like, it's very calming, and just, it kind of just welcomes you in. So kudos to you.
You are so sweet. That is so funny because I'm actually doing a revamp right now and just redoing the whole.
Oh, wow, really?
Thank you. Yes. But thank you so much. Yes, thank you.
Yes, and talk a little bit about some of the products that people can find on the webpage.
So currently, I offer affirmation cards and then the guided journal back to me. Right now, we're going through a whole transformation because, it was like anything. You're always going to evolve. And so starting off, like I said, there's so much of the company that I did myself. And you kind of have to just start where you are and with what you have. And so when I started the company, everything was DIY. I did my own website. I had done the first version of the journal and then my affirmation cards. So now we're going through a whole... And I didn't do the website. We have since had the website done. So that was professionally done. That's why it looks so good now. But before, if you would have seen it like 2 years ago, oh my gosh.
But I mean,
it was what I could do.
Yeah, but I mean, understanding like it takes progress. Myself included with my websites that I've had. I mean, from the first website to what it looks like today, it's literally day and night, completely different. So as long as you're progressing, you're good.
Yes. Exactly. And that's what's happening. We are progressing and we are just growing. And so now, like I said, we're evolving. So the journal got revamped, but now we have some new products coming in. So this year we're going to have another wellness journal coming in, and then we'll have two notebooks. And the notebooks, they're just, lined notebooks, but it's built with intention. So it'll have like a beautiful cover with an intention on the front or an affirmation, just to really... something that someone can look at every day and just remember, okay, I am capable, I am worthy, something like that. And then with just a little intro on the inside to kind of just really build people up and just, if they ever need that reminder, it's there to read, a gentle reminder. So we'll have the affirmation cards that we are actually getting revamped. Also, the affirmation cards, the 2 guided journals, and 2 notebooks that will be here this year.
Wow.
Soon, in a few months.
Yes. You guys have been busy. Keep it up. Keep up all the great work.
Busy.
So, Paris, last but certainly not least, what advice would you offer to the next generation of young female entrepreneurs?
You know what? Like I said, there's just so much. I think at the end of the day, like I said, that self-belief is crucial. How can anyone else believe in you if you don't believe in yourself? You have to have the utmost faith in what you're doing and be proud of it. Because, like I said, you always start where you are and just stand behind it. And as long as you're putting your best foot forward and you are proud of what you've done, it's going to translate. And there's always going to be an audience for it. It might not be the best work, like starting off, but it will turn into something beautiful. And just really honing in on those talents that you have, whatever it is. We all have something. Some of us don't believe that we have something, but if you look really deep within yourself, or if you just look at your life and what you can do, you have something. We are all capable of something beautiful that we can offer the world. So just find that, hone in on that, and just really use that, and just share it. At the end of the day, no one will know unless you put it out there. So don't hide your talents. Spread them far and wide and show it to the world and let it shine. So that is my advice.
I love it. Paris Fletcher, thank you so much for coming through today. Appreciate that. My fellow AT alien. We're holding down GA. I love it. That's great. And Paris, let everyone know where they can get their journal and how to follow you guys on social media.
Absolutely. So you can check out our site at fullbloominspo.com. So it's going to be SULL Bloom BLOOMINSPO.com. And then you can follow us on Instagram with the same name, Full Bloom Inspo. And then TikTok, it's just going to be at Paris. And if you check out our site, you can you can use, self-love 15 at checkout to receive 15% off your order. So.
All right. Well, we appreciate that, Paris. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Of
Appreciate that. And much more success to you and your whole team. I know you guys are going to do even bigger and better things. 24 is just rearing up. It's just warming up outside. So it's time to get ready. Let's get this thing started.
Absolutely. Yes, let's do it. I'm here for it.
And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face. You tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.